Find yourself running out of inventory space? Or maybe you just want to find a new way to stash your loot. Either way, we've got it all for you right here in the best Minecraft storage guide. A single Minecraft player can hold up to 37 items in their inventory at any given time, if they're using every slot plus the offhand. Given Minecraft has hundreds of blocks and items combined, you're going to need somewhere to put all that extra stuff. Thankfully, there are several different ways to store items, each with their own benefit and unique look. We'll be covering each of these items, their benefits, and a means for using them as storage. Each method will get juicier and more unique as we go, so make sure you watch all the way to the end to see the craziest way to put blocks in boxes. And of course, if you enjoy the video or find it helpful, smash that subscribe button, then store it in a chest. The most basic and classic way to store items is in a chest. By placing 8 planks in hollow square shape, you can get one of these brown boxes, which allows you to store up to 27 unique stacks. By placing 2 chests side by side, you can create a double chest, which, as its name implies, can hold twice the amount, for a total of up to 54 unique stacks of items. This is the largest singular storage space in the game. However, you can actually hold the same number of items in the same amount of space by placing 2 barrels side by side. But, since the blocks don't connect, neither do the inventories. Chests can be placed on top of one another, and side by side in any means or direction. They can have items and blocks pushed or pulled from them using hoppers or hopper minecarts. Chests cannot be opened if there is a solid block directly above them, and the same is true for a double chest even if one side is left open. However, you can typically get around this by placing either a slab or stair on top. This is by far the most popular way to store items, and it's easy to see why. The storage room capabilities are nearly infinite. Moving on to our second most popular storage box, we have the barrel. A barrel is crafted by placing 6 planks of any kind with 2 slabs in the middle. They more closely resemble spruce wood to oak, and not only does this block come with a unique look, but also a unique ability. While chests are blocked easily by simple solid blocks, barrels are a bit more flexible. They can be opened even if covered on 5 sides, leaving only one opening available, even if it's the bottom. This extra ability makes hiding storage incredibly easy, and the block design is so nice you can even throw it into some of your builds for some emergency storage, or just throw it up on a roof to have an umbrella and block bank all in one. All jokes aside, barrels are awesome and can even be used in some item transfer systems where chests cannot. This makes them an easy go-to replacement anytime the standard chest just isn't cutting it. Next, we have everyone's favorite storage method, shulker boxes. And although they're the fan favorite, obtaining them can be tricky, as you must first travel to the outer end islands to find and slay the shulker mob, which will occasionally drop its shell, and then you can combine that with the chest to get a shulker box. Now put simply, a shulker box is a chest that you can carry with you. Think of it as a backpack. It holds 27 items just like a normal chest, but when you break it, everything inside remains there until placed down and taken out either manually or by hoppers. Shulker boxes can't be stacked in your inventory, however, like chests and barrels. And you can't place one shulker box inside of another, so no carrying hundreds of these at a time. However, if we were to fill our entire inventory with shulker boxes, we go from having 37 slots for items, all the way up to 999, since each box can hold 27 items, and we can hold 37 boxes at a time. Mojang actually lets you carry just under 1,000 unique items at once. But there's actually a way to increase this number even further using our next storage item. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the teleporter chest. Or as you may know it, the ender chest. To craft this box, you'll need an eye of ender, which can be obtained by combining blaze dust, which you get from blaze rods, with an ender pearl. Obviously these come from endermen, so it does require you to fight some of the harder hostile mobs. Once you have the Eye of Ender, simply surround it with 8 obsidian, and voila! To make things trickier, you can't actually pick up an ender chest unless you have a pickaxe with silk touch on it, and it has to be an iron or better. So don't try this with your basic stone tools, or you'll be sad. The awesome ability of an ender chest is pretty simple, but allows for some crazy uses. When first opened, it may seem like a normal chest. However, after taking a second one out and flying several thousand blocks away, we can see what a big deal it is. These chests have the same inventory, which isn't locked to any one location, but rather to the unique ID of each individual player. This means no sneaking into someone's base to rob one of these, because you'll just see your own items in there. Also, if you happen to die or lose your ender chest in any way, you can always make a new one, and everything inside will still be there, making it one of the ultimate items to take on any adventure. Now, while having your items teleport around is a cool concept, these chests actually have an even more awesome ability. They can hold shulker boxes inside of them and can be placed inside of shulker boxes as well. Using this, you can fill up an ender chest with 27 shulker boxes, then place the chest inside of another shulker box, then fill up your entire inventory with, well, you guessed it, shulker boxes. This will allow you to have a grand total of 1,727 unique items or stacks of items on you at one time, which equates to around 110,528 blocks. That's if they're all stacks of 64, that is. And at this point, do you really even need a storage room? Because you're basically a walking, talking bank that eats and sleeps. Next up, we have some not-so-conventional methods of storage. For starters, the hoppers. While most people purely see these blocks as a means of item transportation, they can actually also work for item storage. Having 5 slots for unique items or stacks, these mechanical chests certainly don't have the most room to work with. However, once put into a clever design, you can create an interesting network to drop off items at the beginning of your base and retrieve them later in the appropriate room. And while they don't offer all the extra bells and whistles of a normal chest, having a cool bank dispenser system in your trading room can be nice. But the true magic with these blocks happens when you combine them with shulker boxes and chests, creating the simplest and fastest way to get your inventory emptied and ready for more block breaking action. Recently, Mojang added the all-new chest boats to Minecraft, which, just as their name describes, acts as a chest that you can set sail on. This makes early game exploring a lot easier and a lot less time consuming, as you no longer have to run back to your base after your first 2 structures looted. However, the good times don't stop there, as these storage boxes can also offload their inventory into readily set up hoppers for an awesome unloading dock, and now you have a great way to store all that random junk you get from fishing. Just make sure you don't sink the ship that has all the treasures on it. Droppers and dispensers are unique storage devices, as they have the ability to empty their own inventories without any help from the player. Droppers simply shoot the inventory out, while dispensers tend to use the inventory. For instance, if you place shears in dispensers and power them, it'll whack a sheep and give you the wool. Now, while a box with a leaking hole may not seem like the most useful storage possibility, it's actually an incredibly handy feature. For instance, set up a hopper with all your favorite potions in it and have it rain down on you every time you leave your house. Or, if you're tired of having to harvest all of your crops, simply set up a dispenser with a bucket of water in it, and just watch the magic work. After all, a dispenser is the only way to place liquids in Minecraft without the player manually having to empty a bucket. Brewing stands and campfires. That's right, these great blocks are another awesome way of storing your items and also putting them on display. Sure, both of them have extremely limited storage space, but they make up for that by actually displaying what items are inside. For instance, if you place 2 potions in a brewing stand, the stand has 2 potions to match. Likewise, if we take a campfire and place meat on it, we can have an awesome butcher display. And you can even put the campfire out so that way the meat doesn't continue to cook. Minecart chests, while they do have a regular inventory size, the actual functionality of these carts is kind of low, given you not only need the cart itself, but also the rails in order to send the cart where you want it to go. Which means these have to be set up in a pretty already established place, and a place where you probably already have some better transportation. These have to be some of the least popular ways to store items, that's true. That being said, I did come up with a good way to incorporate them. Simply set up your mine shaft, load some minecart chests at the bottom, then you can launch them up to the surface as you fill them up for an early restricted version of shulker boxes. Sure, they can't go wherever you can, but as long as you know where you're going and where you're not, I guess you're fine. Next up, we have furnaces. I know. What are you thinking, Chance? Putting blocks in furnaces? But technically, any block can go in the top of a furnace, while only fuel blocks can go in the bottom, and you have to have a smelted item in the right slot that can hold up to a total of 3 items. This makes them one of the most restricted item storage boxes in the game. However, if you were to simply line a wall or even lay these into the floor, you can have some very unexpected storage areas. It can even be a great way to throw off possible intruders, as, come on, who's going to check for diamonds in your furnace? And lastly, we have item frames. Being able to hold only one item may seem like a drawback, but when you consider the fact that these awesome storage devices place their inventory on display in 3D, things start to get a bit clearer. Not only can these hanging item posters hold any block or item in the game, they also allow maps that have been placed on them to fully display everything discovered on that particular map. When we combine these together with multiple item frames, we're able to create a grand world map showcasing all of our builds, past adventures, and future goals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me today. We'll be continuing to do more of these in-depth guides, so make sure you stick around the channel to find out more awesome info that you probably didn't already know. Or maybe you did and just want to show off. Either way, that's going to do it for me today. Hope to see you all again next time. And remember, stay awesome, stay safe, and stay crafting.